This is an AJ Duggar exclusive.
Hey, Mr. Dean, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. It's good to hear from you. I don't have that. I'm not going to keep you that long. I just have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, so tell me, what are some of the things that you've done for the city of Nashville?
Well, I think the most important thing we've done is, we've focused on pretty clear priorities. I established early on that the things I wanted to work on, or the things I thought we needed to pay attention to the most, were public education, public safety, and economic development. So as we've gone through a very difficult recession, the deepest recession since the Great Depression, we have clearly prioritized those. We have increased funding for schools, and we have increased the size of our police department. We've hired over 300 police officers since I've been mayor. I think school funding has probably gone up somewhere in the area of 15 to 17% since I've been mayor. Those are all things that I think that are fundamentally what the city needs to be paying attention to, and that other things will follow. But those are probably the things I've been most proud of, and we've done that without raising property taxes, because we've basically looked at the budget as being a process that reflects your priorities. So you make cuts other places, and you give more to the areas that you think are essential for the city.
Okay. Okay, and what are some of your future plans for the city?
Well, I'm going to continue. I think we have to continue to stay focused on education. We've made a lot of progress. We've brought Teach for America, the new Teachers Project, charter incubators, attendance center, things like that to the city, but we still have a ways to go. I'm very satisfied with the work of the director of schools, Dr. Register, but schools are going to remain the top of my priority list, and then and public safety would be right up there too. Clearly in the next few years, I think in Nashville we're going to have some opportunities and challenges in the area of mass transit. We've worked for the last 4 years to sort of create a regional dialogue around mass transit, and we're at a point in the next year, I think, where we'll be making decisions as a region as to how we move forward. I don't go into it with a fixed notion as what we need to do, whether it be, more buses, bus rapid transit, or light rail, but I think we clearly need to be doing something. And that'll occur on a regional level, but it will also occur on a city basis too, because we're doing some studies, corridor studies right now of West End, Broadway, to see what we can do there to improve the movement of traffic. I think there's other opportunities out there for the city. There's a lot of discussion regarding a new baseball stadium for the Sounds. I think we need to do something. Exactly what that is, will need to be figured out. And we have a group right now. We're hiring a group to come study different locations and different ways of approaching this issue. But even if we come to an agreement as to a location, we still have to come to an agreement with the Sounds in terms of the, it's got to be fiscally responsible for the city. It's got to be good for them and good for us. And so I can't say that we'll necessarily get it done, but it's something I think the city's interested in. I think the city also has an interest in an amphitheater. And again, I think that's where we're going to work with the private sector, and the real challenge is the details of that, having that work in the sense that it's fiscally responsible. I've also want to continue the work we've done in diversifying business in Nashville. One of the things that we did early on that I think was the right thing to do was we worked with the council to pass an ordinance that basically opened up Metro to small business, minority-owned businesses. Nashville had gone through. We had 2 disparity studies done in the past 10 years before I became mayor. Both of those studies indicated that small business, women-owned business, minority-owned businesses were not getting their fair share of work. And so we had an ordinance passed to address that. And we've seen a large increase in the amount of money being spent with minority and women-owned businesses. For instance, in fiscal year 2009, it was $23 million. Fiscal year 2010, it's gone up to $35.5 million. And that's a 53% increase.
Wow.
We have, a lot more businesses now. Minority and women-owned businesses are certified with the city and approved to do business with us. And we need to keep working on it. I'm not satisfied, but I think we've made progress.
Okay. And I know that you were serving as mayor when the recession hit, and then when the flood hit. So I'm sure you were like,
right.
oh man. But you kept your cool. And so, what were some of the thoughts going through your head, and how did you kind of strategize on dealing with the flood?
Well, in terms of the flood, I think that is one of the moment where I have the most pride in the citizens of Nashville. I mean, the flood we had 11 people die here. We had about $2 billion of damage to private property and, millions of dollars to public property. But the story to me of the flood was the way that businesses and individuals responded in a positive way and worked together to get the city back up on its feet. Mm-hmm. We had 20,000 volunteers within weeks out on the streets of Nashville helping their fellow citizens get back into their homes and clean up the mess. So if I had to highlight anything from the flood in terms of what it meant for the city is just the spirit of volunteerism, the spirit of the sort of can-do attitude that we can make things better if we work together. We set up programs. We set up a program called We Are Home to give financial assistance to people hurt by the flood and to get them back into their homes. I think part of the reason the city did well was that our Metro employees worked really, really hard, and they were ready. I mean, we had gone through drills, and we had plans about how to react in a situation like this, and our employees worked long hours and did some incredible work. It was a difficult time period, and we're not done. I mean, there's still people who need help, and there are still things that we have to do to make sure the city's safe in the future. But overall, I look at that experience and I'm just so gratified about the response of our citizens.
Okay. And I know you've been in politics for a while, but what encouraged you to run for mayor?
Well, I spent 16 years in the public defender's office. I spent probably 9 of those 16 years as the elected public defender for Nashville. And I loved that job. And then I was the city's attorney under Mayor Purcell, the director of law. So I felt I had a pretty good understanding of the way the government worked, and I just love the city. I see Nashville as a city whose best days are still ahead of it. I see Nashville as a city of incredible opportunity and incredible possibilities. And so when Mayor Purcell wasn't running for re-election, I kind of looked at it and felt, I'm 50 years old. If I'm ever going to do it, this is the year to do it. And I got into the race and not knowing how it would turn out, but I'm glad I did. And I love the job. It's the best job I ever had by far.
Cool. And are you from Nashville?
I grew up in Massachusetts. I came here to go to law school in 1978. I've been here for 30 years, but I came here in 1978 to go to Vanderbilt. Okay.
You sound really young. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Well, voices can be deceiving. I am as old as I am. Yeah.
Okay. And is there anything else that you want our readers to know about you and your career and your run as mayor?
Well, just that I just feel honored and blessed that I've been able to be mayor. I just think it's a special city, it's a special place with special people. And one thing I'd say about Nashville is I like buildings as much as the next person and everything else. But what makes a city unique, what makes a city special, are the people. Mm-hmm. And Nashville is known for having friendly people. It's known to be a city where people care about each other. And I think we showed during the flood that we're a city that's going to look out for each other. So it's just been an honor. It's the greatest honor I could possibly have to be mayor.
This is an A.J. Duggar exclusive.